Hello, hello dear students. Today we are going to discuss the second part of the first module of your syllabus, that is after discussing the theories of origin of angiosperm. Now we are going to start with the second aspects, that is fossil angiosperms as well as primitive angiosperms. So you know now which of the groups can be considered as the ancestor of angiosperms. Okay, we usually stick on the gymnosperms and also some of the pteridophytes. So, but majority of the angiosperms resembles that of the gymnosperms, its characters. So, okay. So we may be confused which one we want to select as ancestor. So that is no that actually that question of answer of that question is still in confusion. So which one will be the ancestor? So there are different lines of evolution or different lines of origin of angiosperms. So you have to compare each one by different views of different scientists. Okay. So in this session, I am going to discuss what are the primitive angiosperms or where they originated. So that's a small portion in your syllabus. Okay. So primitive angiosperms. You know now what are primitive angiosperms. Okay. What are the characters in basis principles you studied? What you mean by primitive and what you mean by advanced. So which of the characters you can call as primitive and what are the characters that are advanced. Okay. So and you know some of the groups like Amentiferae I already discussed, then Ranails, Magnoliaceae, etc. are considered as a primitive angiosperms. So we can discuss some of the basic views regarding primitive angiosperms. Okay, and what are the different views? So there are first view is these upland plants diversified in tropical or arid regions. So usually this origin started in the tropical and arid regions about 250 million years ago. That's in the Permian period. And the great confusion is that there is no fossil records at all to support this view. So anyway, these plants are raised in the tropical and arid regions. Then you can see these are the some of the areas where a majority of the angiosperms evolved, usually in the Arctic and subarctic regions, the North American regions, the Euro-Siberian region, African regions, and Indo-African and Malaysian regions. So there are different opinions regarding from which area first angiosperm originated. Okay. Then second view is these angiosperms were tropical mesophytic trees. You know what is mesophytes? They are actually they prefer the habitats of in between the highland, upland, or in between saline or freshwater. So some of the conditions that is very commonly occurring habitat is a mesophyte, and that having pinnate leaves. You already discussed some of the gymnosperms with pinnate leaves as ancestor of angiosperms. Okay, so these were primitive angiosperms were tropical mesophytic trees, and their fruits are in the form of clusters of arylate follicles with areoles. You know, then external in extra cover like what we studied in our taxus, an aril we studied. It's like structures, and that are all in clusters in follicles. Okay. Then third view is that most of the primitive angiosperms are insect pollinated. And the flowers appear like magnolia. I already told the primitive feature of Magnoliaceae family, and also they are evergreen trees. And fossils resembling them is observed in lower Cretaceous period. In this picture, you can see the character of magnolia flower. It is three inner then outer group, and also see this transition and means a group of stamens and here also apocarpus condition. So numerous stamens. This is the typical condition. This is the primitive angiosperm flower character. So that type of group you can observe. They are all insect pollinated and observed in the tropical upland regions. Okay. Lower Cretaceous period. Then another peculiar feature of this group is that they have minute embryo, and that embryo is embedded inside the endosperm. Same as that in magnolia. Okay. So due to this magnolia is also considered as a living fossil. Then another view is by Stebbins in 1974. According to him, these primitive angiosperms were small woody plants with small leaves and moderate sized flowers. not too small, not too large, or a medium-sized groups. Then next view is given by Takhtajan. According to him, most of the primitive angiosperms are woody plants, pinnately compound leaves and also having terminal flowers. And there are some other features like perianth of modified bracts. The bracts are modified into perianth. You know what is an undifferentiated condition. Then stamens are leaf-like and conduplicate carpel. So later in your syllabus, there are evolution of carpel and evolution of stamens. In that you will study the primitive stamens and primitive carpels. Primitive stamens are leaf-like and primitive carpels are usually conduplicate. Here in this picture you can see this is like a fern's sporophyll. No? Then what happens here is this is folded inside and appear like this, then foldings more, and finally it appear like a fused carpels. This is known as conduplicate carpel, folded inside and form a carpel. Okay, this condition, this while you sectioning a fern sporophyll, you will appear like this, then it is folded and finally appear like this. So this condition, this tricarpellary condition, this condition is the primitive nature according to Takhtajan. So primitive angiosperm having these type of features. The next by Hutchinson, according to them, these are medium-sized flowers and they are grouped together. A very good example of a primitive angiosperm is Drimys, belongs to the category Vindiraceae, family Vindiraceae. You can see the picture of Drimys, is also having clustered follicles. Then this is the fruit. Okay. Then another one is Enkler and Prandtl and Wettstein. According to them, Amendiferae is considered as the most primitive group. I already told you Casuarinaceae, Salicaceae, etc. belongs to Amendiferae. And we also studied one theory, Amendiferae angiosperm evolution theory. Most of the angiosperms evolved from Amendiferae. Here also you can consider the members of the Amendiferae group as the most primitive one. Okay. Here the flowers having no petals and inflorescence resemble that of conifers. This is the inflorescence of Amendiferae. So what is observing here? You cannot see it like a flower. It is like a drooping catkin like inflorescence or somewhere else, and this is appear like a coniferous appearance. Okay, cone-like appearance. That is an important theory important view regarding primitive angiosperms. These are considered as primitive angiosperms. Okay. Then Bailey, according to Bailey, Ranail is most primitive. So our Ranails, you can study Ranunculaceae family is coming under Ranails. Then your Annonaceae family coming under Ranails. You know the features of that plant, especially the flowers having perianth, no differentiation into sepals and petals. That is a primitive plants. Families are all like that. Then numerous. There is a transition from groups, and also it's actually a spirally arranged stamens and gynoecium, and it is apocarpus condition. That is a primitive nature. Okay, and floral anatomy, wood anatomy, and pollen grain structure of this Ranails group supports this view, that is of the primitive nature. Okay, then up to this we finishes the some views regarding the primitive angiosperm. Now what is the place of origin of angiosperm? So here in 1868 described that these angiosperm originated in the high altitudes in north polar regions. North polar regions is the first origin of angiosperm. But according to Hallier in 1912, he considered this as originated in the ocean basins of Pacific. That is in the New Zealand, Hawaiian Islands, etc. So why this is explained? So because these regions are always rich in primitive angiosperm. Primitive angiosperm families are there dominant in these areas. Then Dutoit, according to him, angiosperm like inflorescence observed in Triassic beds of South Africa. So that may be the place of origin. So this is very important regarding the place of origin. So in this class we discussed the characters of primitive angiosperms and what are the origin of angiosperms. Now just regarding the fossil angiosperms. So observations on fossil angiosperms, that is very less, because what we are observing now, what the fossils we studied are only some petrifactions and some impressions, and actually no clear-cut ideas. And in some cases these angiosperms present in the mountains are not fossilized, not at all fossilized. And the fossil records from oceans and river basins are also very less. but still there are some examples of fossils obtained from different periods. So that I will discuss in the next session. Okay. Thank you very much.